Hello dear group members, I am Peter Platt and I will make a little study for an eye. It will be a much more demonstration of how to start the study. As you can see, we have the image of the eye. This eye is a part of a sculpture made from Michelangelo. It's one of the eyes of David's sculpture from Michelangelo, and the image was provided by the JustGallery.com. Also want to mention that unfortunately we don't have the real model, so it's a little bit harder to study after a picture because the shapes aren't that visible as need to be when you are studying after a live model. Also the problem is that we have just this angle. It would be really nice if you would have different angles, pictures of this sculpture from different angles. Maybe in the future we will have, but for now we have just this, and I think we have one more image, but I choose this one. Alright. I also want to mention that it's pretty important to print your image, the reference image, so you can see it more clearly and more better. Also, it would be preferable if you are doing this study. Try to use a bigger paper. I use an A4 paper here because my webcam and my place isn't enough for a bigger paper, but you can use a bigger paper. And another thing would be preferable if you could draw the same size as your reference, so you don't make too much mistakes, and you don't need to make too much measurements also. And normally I would use for the sketch an H pencil, but since this is a video and maybe the H pencil will not be visible so good on the paper, on the video, I will start my sketch with an HB pencil, which is a little bit darker than the H pencil. And the first thing we need to pay attention on this drawing, we need to pay attention for the measurements, for the proportions. And for the proportions I will use my pencil for measuring, so we don't miss the basic proportions. And I will try to make the piece as big as I can on my paper. And first thing first, what I do, I start to make the big shape of the object. Alright, just eyeballing the shape, and then I am taking a longer pencil and I start to make the measurement, and I see that it's longer than it's higher. Alright, which means that we have this measurement. Alright, this will be our measurement, and it needs to be a little bit longer, and we need to see it till here, and from there it's about a quarter, so not too long. I'm eyeballing the measurement some places, right? And this will be the shape, right? Those lines which I don't need, I erase, so it doesn't bother me. Okay, I start to watch after the shape of the eye, and I just start to draw the big shape of the eye, and I'm aware that the eye line is a little bit going down, so it's the same thing you can do with a real life model. You can use your pencil to see your directions, and I will start to, let's see, once, twice, third. Okay, and let's see if we have this in thirds. Okay, this will be the corner, and one, twice, and half. So once, twice, and half would be like here. This will be kind of the width of the eye, and let's see, we have the width of the eye, once, twice, okay, once, it's like here, twice, right, once, twice. And if we are going to see the width of the eye, it's going to be once till here, right, and half till here. So it's once till here and half, kind of half, it's here, and that will be our eyebrow, right? And the eyebrow will come oblique like this, right? And if you are dragging a nice perpendicular line, you will see that the eye will, the upper corner of the eyelid of the eyebrow is almost in the half of the eye, so this is the half and this is almost the half, and from there we have, right, and from there we have this shape. Okay, we are taking the same from here, right? It seems that it's a little bit too much measurements, but to have a precise drawing, this is the way to do it, right? So let's see how big is the eye, and I will measure once, twice, and a really small part. So this is our eye, this is half, and it needs to be a little bit longer, and this will be the eye like here and here. Right, let's see the other part. Yeah, from here it's once and twice, alright, and this will be our eye height, and this will be our eye width. Okay, so that we have these measurements, we can start to draw our eye, and we can start to develop the shape. We are not going to go too quickly. We are looking after our shapes, alright, and it's going like this. I'm using straight lines for the construction, so it's much more precise. After we have all the construction and all the measurements, we can start to round our lines, but till then we just use broad lines and straight lines. Alright, let's start our eye. As you can see, the eye is made from 3 sections. The first section is kind of like this. Alright, this is the first section, this is the second section, and this is the third section. Alright, and I use straight lines. I don't push too hard the pencil because I will make other adjustments. And the first thing I want to see, the highest point of the eyelid. It's kind of, if I draw a line, a straight line, a vertical line, I will see that it goes like somewhere like here, right? And this is the most higher part of the eye, and this is the measurement of the eye, if you remember, right? And from here we will have the third form, third shape. The same thing we are doing on the lower part, and we are watching for the lowest part. And if we are dragging a line, an imaginary line on our model, it seems that it crosses in the middle. It's like kind of here, because this is the middle, right? And this will be the lowest part, and the lower eyelid is made also from 3 parts. As we see, we have this line here, and we can take our pencil and see the direction. We have the other one, which goes like this, right, and goes to the lowest part of the eyelid, and from there it goes up, right? And since we had this corner, we need to remember that we have a corner here, so it will be coming like this and will coming like this, right? And I can draw straight lines for the corner, right? Like that, okay? Seems a little bit weird because it's just straight lines, but you will see that after we have all the dimensions, we can start to make the lines a little bit more dynamic and rounder, right? We need to take care about the upper eyelid, and this has also 3 parts. It has this part which is going to the corner of the eye. It's like this, like here, alright? and it's going to here if you are dragging a nice vertical line. Then it has a change of direction, which is this, right? And then we have the other part, which is the last part, right? Okay. We need to watch about this shape, and the lowest part is like here. It's a little bit on the right side of the other part, which is the lowest. It's like somewhere here, and if we are measuring the dimension, we see that from here to here and to here we have a little bit less than half. So if I drag a line, this is the half for this line, and a little bit less than half, and this is the lowest part, and we have a nice round shape there, which will come up. It has 3 parts, alright. Okay, and here we have another line, right, and this will be the line of the face. Okay. Alright, since we are pretty close to our shapes, we start to think about details. So we have the eyelid, which is coming like this. Okay, and we have the eyeball. Okay, we can start to round our shape, and as you can see, this isn't straight, it's a little bit arched, like this. Alright, and we are going to go up. This is an essential part of the drawing, so we don't go too fast. Alright, it's going like this, and from here we have the corner of the eye, which is going to come till here. Alright, sometimes we need to change the lines. As you can see, I don't push too hard the pencil, so I need, if I need to erase, I can erase. Alright, we can start the lower eyelid. Alright, we are rounding the form, but we are aware that we had a point there, which was the lowest part of the eye, and we see that this part isn't straight, it's a little bit rounder, so I erase the straight line which helped me to measure and to construct. Right. Okay. So we have here the eyeball, and since these points are the highest and the lowest points, inside we need to have the thickness of the eyelid. I hope that it's visible. Yes, it's visible on the video. So I will start the thickness, and as I see here, it's thicker. Here it's thinner on the upper side, and here it starts to be thicker also. So I start, and since these measurements are so small, we can't do measurements. So we need to eyeball these measurements. So I will start thicker. I will go thinner, like that. Alright, and I will start to go thinner, thicker here on the other part. It seems to me that this part is going a little bit like this, right? So it's a lot of guessing here, and the thing is that if you aren't satisfied with the shape, you just erase and you are redoing the shape. You don't stop until the shape is the same as you want. Alright, this shape will be coming a little bit longer, and this will be the lower eyelid thickness. Right. And we start this part also. Alright. If you are dragging a vertical line, you see that this line is vanishing right at the limit of the corner of the eye. Right. It seems to me that this part needs to be a little bit more right. It's going like this. Alright. Okay, and also the eyelid. Alright. As you can see, I do a lot of erasing, but as you can see, those points which were measured precisely, they remain the same. I just adjust the lines, the shapes, but the dimensions are the same. Since I did once the measurements, I don't need to bother myself changing them. Right, and we can start this part here. Right, it goes till here, and from here it's like this shape. Right, I do erase if I need. That is the lowest part here, so I don't change that because it was measured. But this line and this shape is a little bit longer. Right, and the same happens here. Right, okay. Seems to me that this line is a little bit more like this. Right, which means that the thickness of the eyelid isn't good, so I reshape it. Right, I can measure the iris. It's almost half of this shape from here to here. This would be a bit longer. Now this is the half, and we saw that it's almost half, so it's right here somewhere. Right, and we watch where it is like here. Right, and we watch about how that shape is placed there. Alright, this part isn't too good, so I will try to correct it. This line is like this. I will erase there. Right, and then we are looking after the thickness of the eyelid. Okay. Let's adjust that once more. Once more till we get it perfect. Right? And let's see here. Opa. Alright. And let's see if you are dragging a vertical line. It's kind of, here is the most higher spot. So from here it goes down, right? And this part is lower than that. So if you are drawing a straight line, means that it will be kind of here, the shape. Alright. We see that this point from here, it's really close to the edge. And if we are making a measurement, think once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, it's about 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, it's like this. Alright? It goes like this. And then it goes outside a little bit. And that's the shape. Right? And here we have, if you are dragging a nice vertical line like this, we see that this is the most point from the right. So all the other points are a little bit more inside. If you are dragging a horizontal line, right, you will see that that's like something like here, right, and it's going inside, and from here it's going outside, because this is the line of the nose, right, and this line is a little bit more left than this point. Alright. And as here we have a nice shape, and it's going to be till here. Okay. And here it goes inside once, goes a little bit outside, goes outside and inside on the corner. Alright, just a rough sketch of the piece. And as you can see, I use straight lines where I have complex shapes, so I use straight lines. And after I have all the shapes on their place, I can start to round those shapes. Right? So I took a break from the drawing and I came back and I see a pretty big flow on the drawing. The height of the eye isn't good, so if we are taking the measurement, right, it's once, twice, right, and half. And we have here once and twice. Needs to be smaller, much more smaller. Once, twice, and half. Once, twice, half, like that. Yeah, something went wrong there, so I will erase and I will start to make the correction. Wait a minute, this is in the right, so it goes still here. It goes like right, and then goes like this, right, and goes like this. And as you can see, it was a pretty huge mistake, which means that this distance isn't the same also, so we need to measure it. It's almost great. I think it's smaller a little bit. Right. It happens all the time. People tend to think that someone who draws for a long time doesn't ever make mistakes, and that's not true. We all do mistakes, and sometimes taking a break from your drawing can be beneficial because you will see your drawing with a fresh eye. It seems to me that this curvature is also a little bit more like this. Alright, it starts to have a good shape. So as I told before that taking a little bit break from your drawing can be sometimes beneficial because when you are coming back, you will see your drawing a little bit with fresh eye, and that can be very interesting because you tend to see your mistakes much easier. So yeah, it was a pretty big difference. This will come like a little bit. Right? Those small shapes and forms which can be measured, they need to be measured by eye. So it's really important to train your eye to see your drawing. Right? Okay, now it's better. It's much better. So I need to adjust this also. It seems to me this is coming like this. Right? And it has a nice shape there. Right? It goes in that direction. If you are taking this line and taking it to the right part, you will see that that line meets that line here, so you can find it very easily. Alright. We have another one here. Okay. Right. Okay. So it starts to have a nice shape. Right. Let's adjust this line also. Right. Right, so I think the construction is done. Maybe this shape is a little bit more like this. Alright. So right, I think it's the construction part is done. So we need to start to shadow our drawing. This part with the eyebrow, I will leave it a little bit later. I don't want to enter in those details, not just yet. Here we have a nice muscle, so now those lines which are too harsh, I tend to erase. Right. It's like here, sounds. Let's look at this hard. Right. Right. Okay. So as you saw, I did a lot of measurements, but still with a lot of measurements I did a pretty big mistake, which I didn't saw until I took a break from my drawing. But now it's better, and we can start putting the first shadows. Right, and I will start with the HB in a moment.